Shut and sealed is the way it began before the package arrived in hand, before the package made its way through the door and into the hands of the insatiably curious Margaret Moore, before Margaret Moore peeked like a sleuth, tore, ripped away, and discovered the truth. Although she sat completely vexed by the ghoulish glow of her new television set, she was scarcely aware of the passing time and the heavy strain it had on her eyes. As they began to close and shut for good, there was a knock and a thump on the slab of wood. The slab of wood she had for a door, the slab of wood that had stood firm before, the slab of wood that would render useless yet never fall to the floor. As Margaret reached and stretched for the knob, her blood rushed, gushed, and her chest began to throb. Each beat bellowed like never before, bouncing off the walls and off the door. There was a click and a creak, and suddenly nothing more. And there it was in the stranger's hands, the undesired parcel she could not withstand. The parcel that arrived so very late, yet accepted still and sealed her fate. Its carbon shell of tears it wreaked, a sorrowful cry from a soul once reaped. And as the tears began to fall, there was a beat, a bump, a throb, and all. It seemed her heart had jumped its cage, up and out and beyond her gaze. Margaret wondered and thought, from whom could this be? But the stranger had turned and began to flee. Margaret's heart had stopped at last. The box was still, and the thrill had passed. And as she began to sink her teeth into the brown and tan cardboard sheath, she was caught unaware by a ray of light, emitted from an envelope close in sight. An envelope sitting, resting, staring at her, sitting atop the box, gently, calmly astir. And although her will longed for the bed, her curiosity won, and she reached instead. Reached for the letter atop the box, whole body submitted from her hair to her socks. The strength of the chain and the weight of the fetter grew heavy on her hand as she grasped the letter. She ripped and she tore, and its paper was shed. Inside was a note, a small one that read, "To wherever this box finds its place, know that this note comes with incredible grace. The box you possess is not what it seems, for it contains the most horrible fuel of your dreams. Listen to your heart with each passing breath, for if you open this box, you will receive only death." The mind does wander when it's left to ponder, the mysterious, concealed, dark, and somber. What could it be that is set free when the box is open for all to see? Perhaps a severed hand, a mangled wreck, that crawls around the room in search of your neck. Maybe a set of eyes and a laughing head that consume your mind as you drop down dead. Or could it be empty, a void with nothing inside, meaningless rules by which you abide? All the terrors and fears danced around in her head, poking her brain like spears of dread. And as her mind conjured the most horrible dream, she was startled, jolted by a piercing scream. Of course, the kettle she left to boil. If she missed her tea, her ritual would spoil. So in haste, she tended the piercing scream, grabbed a cup, and began to steep her leaves. And as the steam rose from the cup, it drifted in and out, around and up into Margaret's aching head, silencing her fears and calming her dread, giving her courage to look instead away from the kettle and straight ahead. Ahead at the box, calling her name, one step after another in order to keep sane. Her feet did not touch as she glided in air, over the floor and towards its stair. The stair that welcomed her gently still, that had caused excitement and eerie thrill. The sheath was stripped and the paper shed easy, and as her nerves danced, she became uneasy. She wondered still why the stranger knocks as she peered over the edge and saw in the box.